Game 2 here, and it looks like a lot of junk. We have Marauder to distribute ruins. We also have two distributors of curses in the Witch and the Soothsayer. On the other side, or on the other hand, we have Lab and Port. So those are good cards to make a draw your deck kind of engine thing here. There's also Haggler, which helps for that purpose. You could go haggle ports off your labs or ports off your witches, for example. That's very helpful. Something in remodel, and Apothecary isn't going to do much here, right? So my opponent opens 5-2 and goes for a witch straight away, which I think is the correct thing to do. I open Marauder Silver, hoping to return some junk to my opponent. Here, you would prefer to put purple cards into your opponent's decks rather than the brown cards. Just sends down your points. Also, the brown cards are mildly useful sometimes. So my opponent hits another $5 hand here and thinks about what to do with it and ends up going for a second witch. So he could have chosen the Soothsayer but opted for the witch. I am going to choose the Soothsayer here. A couple reasons for that is, one, I feel like I'm going to lose the curse split, especially against two witches. So, I mean, if I'm going to lose it, I would like to have some money, some gold in my deck to dilute the curses a little bit. So that's why I went for the Soothsayer. Also, it has less of a chance to collide with my Marauder. I don't run the risk of drawing into it with a witch, for example. Unfortunately, they do collide here. And my opponent picked up 2 ports, and look at this turn. Bang, bang. 4 curses in my deck. I haven't put a single one into my opponent's yet, and he's drawing a lot of money, $6 there. So I feel like he's enjoying some good draws at this point. I finally get to put a curse in him, and not able to buy anything there. Here, I do have the opportunity to go for province, but I am not going to. I feel like that's not the right thing to do at this point in the game. I should really be trying to put a lot of money into my deck. I don't think this engine thing will work with drawing a lot of cards for me. There's way too much junk. I put 1 curse, the rest of them are in my deck. That being said, Lab is still a good card to pick up on 5. Mystic is a consideration, but I think the Lab is just better. I could see my Soothsayer a bit more often, and that'll be one of the key cards for me. Perhaps I should have picked up a second Soothsayer instead of a Lab. So my opponent did pick up a Haggler and is going to make use of it here. Haggler is also something I considered for my money style deck, but I wasn't entirely certain that I could, ideally I would want to go something like Province Gold or Gold Haggling Lab or something, or Harem Haggling Lab or something. Anything other than that is kind of underwhelming. I don't really want anything costing less than 4. I could take the odd remodel or whatnot, but I didn't really feel like I could make much use of the Haggler, which is why I didn't end up going for it in this game. I, at this point, just want to play, and even before this, just wanted to play with a lot of money in my deck. So the Soothsayer hopefully would have put some gold in my deck, hopefully would have given him half the curses. So we would be like having a deck of similar type junk, but I would have more money in it. However, that did not turn out that way with his double witches and double ports. He actually ended up putting, I think, 8 curses into my deck, or 7 curses. Either way, the game is effectively over at this point. There's very little I could do. What he is choosing to do here is to build up a bit of draw and then go after the provinces. I mean, really, he could do nearly anything at this point in the game and probably come through with a W here. So I did pick up a Harem at some point earlier. The Harem is a bit of points. My only hope for this game is if I could sneak out a 3 pile with a marginal lead. If the game goes on long enough, my opponent will win. So that's why I went for the Harem. It also helps my economy a little bit to have the Harem in there. So that's why I'm going for the Harem. It's a bit of points, and hopefully I could sneak at 3 pile out. I'm pretty sure my opponent will not let that happen, but I have to play it to my outs, right? I mean, I feel like, uh, yeah, he enjoyed some good draw in this game here. So I still have to try to do what I could do at this point. I'm pretty unhappy that I've only put 3 ruins into my opponent's deck too. I was hoping that would be more of a factor, especially seeing as how I opened with the Marauder. I do remodel a goal here. I think this is wrong. I think I should have waited until the next shuffle. I should have been pumping money into my deck this shuffle. So perhaps remodel Estate instead into Silver and then pick up another lab or Mystic, probably another lab, and leave the gold for the next shuffle. Then maybe I can remodel it into something else. So my opponent also picks up a province. I picked up one earlier. I had a good draw, I believe. I'm not having a good draw right now. Remodel is going to be useful at this point, especially with the gold and harems in my deck. I could turn one of those guys into province. And here, look, even the ruins conspire against me in this game. The ruins that I give him help him draw with all his ports. They ruin libraries, they're not even ruin villages or markets or anything. They're libraries, so they draw him cards, which is remarkable. Also, my labs are at the bottom of our shuffle here, which isn't great. So I have a marginal lead after this province buy here. We have the curses out. Ports can run kind of quickly. Perhaps I'm surprised actually that my opponent didn't pick up a pilgrimage at any point in this game. For what he was building, I felt like that would have been real good for him. Like he could have bought pilgrimage and picked up lab, port, and haggler, for example, and that would have been excellent. So here I am considering whether or not to remodel this province into a province just to try to truncate the game. But my opponent ends up picking up a harem and a province on this turn, so we are not going to truncate the game. We're trying to extend the game now, which means remodeling the curse instead. I pick up a copper instead of an estate because I feel like the estate really doesn't help me that much in terms of the points or anything really. Well, that's the only thing estates can't help you with, right? So just going to take the curse and put a copper back in my deck, and we'll see how things go from here. My opponent now starts to go after duchies, so he's just looking to cash in for points at this point in the game, and that's perfectly fine, right? If not, the provinces will run, the duchies will run, the harems will run, and he'll have more points at the end of the day. So yeah, this was a particularly brutal game for me, coming under that witch barrage at the beginning of the game. They really just sunk any hopes that I would have for this game. I'm not really sure what I could have done differently in this game to increase my chances. Perhaps more remodels in the deck to try to turn some of the curses into coppers. Ooh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But anyways, my opponent is going to buy out the provinces very soon. Right now he's just, picking off piles opportunistically here. He has the points lead, so he could go after the piles very slowly. Harems here, duchies there, province when he could. He could even start remodeling provinces into province at this point. I do manage to catch a goal here with a remodel, which is cool. And this is a good hand as well, but it's too little too late at this point in the game. So this is how game 2 ends up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. He'll buy the province on the next turn here. I could have remodeled and ended it there, but we struggle, right? We struggle. We try to win against all odds. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.